The apartment door clicks open. Caitlin steps inside, grocery bags in hand. She kicks off her shoes, calling out, "Barry, you home?" No answer. Just the hum of the refrigerator, the faint sound of traffic outside. She walks down the hallway, dropping the bags on the kitchen counter. A half-empty coffee cup sits there, still warm. Her phone buzzes in her pocket. A text from Barry. "Running late. Be home by 8. Caitlin sighs, tossing her keys into the bowl by the door. Then she notices it, the light blinking on the security camera hub, the little red dot that means motion was detected. She frowns. She hadn't set the cameras today. The monitor glows as she taps the playback. The footage loads. Barry and Steven on the couch. The way Steven's hand lingers. The way Barry doesn't pull away. Caitlin's grip tightens on the edge of the counter. A floorboard creaks behind her. She spins around. Steven stands in the doorway, tie loosened, sleeves rolled up. He freezes when he sees her, sees the screen. For a second, neither of them speaks. Then Caitlin turns the monitor off. Steven clears his throat. "Hey, didn't know you were back." Caitlin's voice is steady, too steady. "Just got in." Steven's eyes flick to the camera hub, then back to her. "Everything okay?" Caitlin doesn't answer right away. Instead, she picks up her phone, taps the screen. The security footage reappears. Barry and Steven, frozen mid-motion. She holds it up so he can see. Steven's face goes still. Caitlin tilts her head. "You want to explain this?" The silence stretches. Somewhere outside, a car alarm goes off. Steven takes a slow breath. "It's not what it looks like." Caitlin laughs, short, humorless. "Really? Because it looks like you were about to kiss my boyfriend." Steven opens his mouth, then shuts it. Caitlin waits. The front door unlocks. Barry's voice calls out, "Babe, you here?" Nobody moves. Then Barry walks into the kitchen. He stops when he sees them, sees Caitlin's face, sees the phone in her hand. His smile fades. Caitlin looks at him. "We need to talk." The screen cuts to black. This time nobody's watching. But the camera? It's still recording. The kitchen light flickers once as Barry stands frozen in the doorway. His gym bag slips from his shoulder and hits the floor with a thud. Caitlin doesn't move, just keeps staring at him, phone still raised. The frozen image glows between them. Barry's face tilted up toward Steven's, caught in that damning moment. Steven takes a step back, hands raised slightly. "Look, I should—" "No," Caitlin cuts in, eyes locked on Barry. "You should stay right here, both of you." Barry swallows hard. His fingers twitch toward his pockets, then stop. "Kate, I can explain." "Explain what?" Her voice stays eerily calm. "Explain why my boyfriend and my cousin are—" She gestures at the phone, unable to finish the sentence. Steven's head jerks up. "Wait, you didn't tell her we're—" "Shut up," Barry snaps, then immediately winces. He takes a careful step forward. "Babe, please, just let me—" The microwave clock ticks loudly in the silence. 7:48 p.m. The leftover pizza from the footage still sits on the coffee table, now cold. Caitlin finally lowers the phone. Her hands don't shake. "How long?" Barry opens his mouth, then closes it. Looks at Steven. Looks back at Caitlin. Steven runs a hand through his hair. "Since college, but we broke it off when you two—" "Shut up!" Barry shouts, voice cracking. He turns back to Caitlin, pleading now. "It wasn't like that. It was before you. It didn't mean anything." Caitlin blinks, once, twice, then she laughs, a sharp, broken sound. "You moved him into our apartment." The words hang in the air. Outside, a siren wails in the distance, fading as it drives away. Barry reaches for her. "Kate!" She steps back. "Don't." The security camera light blinks red from its corner by the fridge, silently recording everything. The way Barry's shoulders slump, the way Steven won't meet anyone's eyes. the way Caitlin's fingers tighten around her phone until her knuckles turn white. Then, without another word, Caitlin turns and walks out. The front door slams so hard a picture frame falls off the wall. Glass shatters on the hardwood. Neither man moves to clean it up. The camera keeps watching. The timestamp keeps counting. 7:51 p.m. The shattered glass glitters on the hardwood floor as Barry finally moves. He kicks the broken frame aside, sending shards skittering across the kitchen tiles. Stephen exhales sharply through his nose. Well, that went great. Barry whirls on him. Are you fucking kidding me right now? His voice cracks on the last word. He grabs a dish towel from the counter and hurls it at the wall. The security camera's red light continues blinking. Stephen holds up his hands. Look, we knew this might happen eventually. No, you knew. Barry jabs a finger at him. Because you couldn't keep your damn hands to yourself in our own living room. A car horn blares outside. The neighbor's dog starts barking. Stephen crosses his arms. Oh, like you weren't into it? Please, you could have stopped me any time. Barry opens his mouth, then closes it. He runs both hands through his hair, gripping at the roots. I need to go after her. Stephen steps in front of the door. And say what exactly? Sorry, my cousin and I have been hooking up behind your back for months. The microwave clock ticks over to 7:53 p.m. Barry's phone buzzes on the counter. Both men glance at it. A notification from Caitlin lights up the screen. Don't bother coming to the studio tonight. Or ever. The security camera captures the exact moment Barry's face crumples. Stephen reaches for him. Barry. Barry shoves past him, snatching his keys from the bowl. I'm going out. The front door slams again. This time, the impact knocks loose another picture frame, the one of Caitlin and Barry at last year's company picnic. The glass doesn't break. Stephen stands alone in the apartment, staring at the blinking camera. After a long moment, he walks over and unplugs it with a sharp yank. The red light dies. But across town, Caitlin sits in her parked car, watching the live feed go black on her phone. She takes a shaky breath. Then she starts typing. The message sends with a whoosh. I want you both out by tomorrow. The time on her dashboard reads 7:57 p.m. The camera may have stopped recording, but the damage was already done. The engine of Caitlin's car hums as she grips the steering wheel, staring at the darkened screen of her phone. The parking garage echoes with the sound of another car starting up several rows away. Her thumb hovers over her contacts list, scrolls past mom, past work, lands on Melissa, best friend. She hesitates, then locks her phone with a sharp click. Across town, Barry's car screeches to a stop outside a dimly lit bar. He doesn't get out immediately, just sits with his forehead pressed against the steering wheel, breathing hard. His phone lights up with Caitlin's eviction text. He doesn't touch it. Back at the apartment, Stephen paces the living room. He stops at the fallen picture frame, picking it up carefully. The glass is still intact. He stares at Caitlin and Barry's smiling faces for a long moment before setting it face down on the coffee table. The pizza box from earlier sits untouched. Stephen flips it closed with one hand while pulling out his own phone with the other. His fingers move quickly across the screen. We need to talk. Meet me at our usual spot. Send. At the bar, Barry's phone buzzes. He glances at it, then shoves it back in his pocket without responding. The bartender raises an eyebrow as he slams a 20 on the counter. Whiskey. Neat. Meanwhile, Caitlin finally starts her car. The radio blares to life mid-song. Caught you in a lie. She jabs the power button, silencing it instantly. The garage exit looms ahead, the red glow of the stoplight reflecting in her windshield. Stephen's phone lights up with a reply, not from Barry, from an unsaved number. Saw the footage, we should talk too. His blood runs cold. The microwave clock ticks to 8:02 p.m. Down the street from the bar, a security camera outside a convenience store captures Barry stumbling out of his car. He pauses under the flickering streetlight, pulling his hood up against the drizzling rain. Inside the apartment, Steven stares at the unplugged security camera in his hand. Then, with sudden violence, he hurls it against the wall. Plastic shatters. At that exact moment, 3 miles away, Caitlin's phone notification chimes. The security app alert. Camera 1, offline. She lets out a bitter laugh as her wipers swipe away the rain. The clock on her dash changes to 8:03 p.m. Somewhere in the city, a train whistle blows. The night is far from over. The rain drums harder against Caitlin's windshield as she pulls up to Melissa's apartment building. She kills the engine, but doesn't move, watching water droplets race down the glass. Her phone lights up with another notification, this time from her bank app. A recent withdrawal from the joint account she shares with Barry, $200 at an ATM near the bar. Melissa's silhouette appears in the doorway, umbrella in hand. She taps on the driver's side window. Caitlin rolls it down just enough to hear, "You planning to sit out here all night? Or you coming in?" Inside the apartment, Steven methodically packs a duffel bag. Jeans, shirts, the framed photo from the coffee table. He pauses when he reaches Barry's side of the closet, fingers brushing against a leather jacket Caitlin bought him last Christmas. At the bar, Barry stares at his third whiskey. The ice has melted. His phone vibrates again. Steven calling for the 4th time. He flips it face down on the sticky counter. The bartender eyes him. "You good, man?" Melissa's apartment smells like lavender and takeout. Caitlin stands stiffly by the couch while Melissa pours 2 glasses of wine without asking. "Okay," Melissa says, handing her a glass. "Start talking." The security camera footage plays again on Melissa's laptop. Caitlin's hands don't shake as she presses pause at the crucial moment. Melissa whistles low. "Damn, your cousin, huh?" Steven's Uber arrives outside the apartment. He shoulders his bag and takes one last look around. The broken camera pieces still litter the floor. He leaves the key on the counter next to a note that simply reads, "Sorry." Barry's head snaps up when someone slides onto the stool next to him. Not Steven. A woman with sharp cheekbones and a knowing smile. "Rough night?" she asks, signaling the bartender for 2 more drinks. Caitlin's phone buzzes on Melissa's coffee table. A new email notification pops up. Urgent. Apartment lease termination request. She doesn't reach for it. Melissa leans forward. "So, what are you gonna do?" Outside, thunder rumbles in the distance. The streetlights flicker once. Barry's new drinking companion slides a business card across the bar. It reads, "Amanda Cole, private investigator." Barry frowns. "What's this?" Amanda sips her drink. "Let's just say, I think we might have a mutual friend." The clock on the microwave back at the empty apartment blinks 12 times a.m. over and over, resetting itself. No one is there to see it. The rain has turned into a steady downpour by the time Caitlin leaves Melissa's apartment. She doesn't take the offered umbrella, just pulls her hood up and walks to her car with purposeful strides. Her phone buzzes again, another email notification about the lease termination. She swipes it away without reading. Inside the bar, Barry squints at Amanda's business card under the dim lighting. His words slur slightly when he speaks. "You some kind of stalker or something?" Amanda chuckles, swirling her drink. "Let's call it professional curiosity." She pulls out her phone and shows him a screenshot. Security camera footage of Steven leaving their apartment with a duffel bag. "Your roommate seems to be in a hurry." Barry's bloodshot eyes widen. He grabs for the phone, but Amanda pulls it back. "What the hell is this?" he demands, voice rising. A few patrons turn to look. At a 24-hour diner across town, Steven sits in a corner booth, nursing a black coffee. His own phone lights up with a text from an unknown number. "We need to meet. You have something I want." He types back quickly. "Wrong number." The reply comes instantly. "Ask Barry about the camera footage." Steven's hand tightens around his coffee cup. Caitlin's windshield wipers work overtime as she drives through the storm. Her GPS shows she's heading toward the apartment, but at the last second, she takes a sharp turn toward the freeway instead. The digital clock on her dash reads 1:17 a.m. Back at the bar, Amanda leans closer to Barry. "Here's what I know," she says, voice dropping. "Your girlfriend installed those cameras 2 weeks ago after noticing money missing from your joint account. Your cousin Steven has been accessing your shared cloud storage since he moved in." She pauses. "And neither of you noticed the third camera in the bedroom closet." Barry's face goes pale. He stands up so fast his stool clatters to the ground. "I need to go home?" Amanda finishes for him. "I wouldn't. Not yet." She slides another photo across the bar. Caitlin walking into a law office earlier that day. The microwave clock in the empty apartment finally stops blinking when the power goes out during the storm. In the diner, Steven's phone rings. He hesitates before answering. "Yeah?" A distorted voice on the other end says, "Check your email, then we'll talk." The line goes dead. Steven's fingers tremble as he opens his inbox. There's one new message with a video attachment. The thumbnail makes his breath catch. It's footage from an angle he's never seen before, showing much more than just the living room. Caitlin's car speeds down the freeway, rain obscuring everything but the dotted white lines on the road. Her knuckles are white on the steering wheel. Somewhere in the city, a new camera activates. This one isn't in an apartment, and it's not recording video. It's pointed directly at Barry's car as he stumbles out of the bar into the storm, Amanda's business card still clutched in his hand. The timestamp reads 1:23 a.m. The storm isn't the only thing raging tonight. The rain hammers against the diner windows as Steven stares at the video on his phone. His reflection in the glass shows the exact moment his expression shifts from shock to panic. He slams a fist on the table, making the silverware jump. The elderly couple in the next booth glances over, then quickly looks away. He types furiously, "Who is this? What do you want?" The reply comes fast. Not over text. "Meet me, 2 a.m., Pier 17. Steven's throat tightens. He knows Pier 17, an abandoned dock on the industrial side of town. No cameras, no witnesses. He throws cash on the table and bolts outside, collar turned up against the rain. Barry stumbles through the parking lot, Amanda's card crumpled in his fist. His phone buzzes. Another call from Steven. He ignores it. The whiskey burns in his veins, mixing with the acid rising in his throat. A shadow moves near his car. Barry squints. "Hello?" No answer, just rain. He fumbles with his keys, dropping them. As he bends to pick them up, headlights flood the lot. A black SUV rolls to a stop a few spaces away. The window rolls down. A voice calls out, "Need a ride?" Barry straightens, blinking water from his eyes. "Do I know you?" The passenger door clicks open. Caitlin's car idles outside a storage facility, wipers still fighting the downpour. She checks her phone. No new messages. The security app shows the living room camera is still offline. She pulls up a different feed. A grainy black and white image loads. Barry's empty apartment, the shattered picture frame, the unplugged camera on the floor. Then, movement. A figure steps into frame. Not Barry, not Steven. Someone in a dark hoodie, face obscured, methodically going through the drawers near the TV stand. Caitlin's breath catches. The intruder pauses, as if sensing something, then slowly turns and looks directly into the hidden bedroom camera. Steven's Uber drops him 2 blocks from Pier 17. The driver eyes him in the rear view. "You sure about this, man? Place is sketchy as hell after dark." Steven doesn't answer. He just gets out and walks toward the dock, the rain masking the sound of his footsteps. The pier is deserted. Waves crash against the pylons. A single flickering light illuminates the far end where the fishing boats moor. His phone buzzes. A text. "Keep walking." Steven's pulse pounds in his ears as he moves forward. At the edge of the dock, a figure waits, back turned, hood up against the rain. "All right," Stephen snaps. What's this about? The figure turns. Stephen's blood runs cold. It's not a stranger. It's Caitlin. Barry blinks as the SUV's interior light comes on. The driver smiles at him. Get in. We need to talk about your girlfriend. Barry hesitates, hand on the door. Who are you? The driver sighs, then holds up a badge. Private investigator. Same firm as Amanda. Look, the man says. Caitlin hired us 3 weeks ago. She already knew about you and Stephen. Barry's stomach drops. What? The investigator revs the engine. Get in. I'll show you the rest. On the pier, Caitlin steps closer to Stephen. The rain soaks through both their clothes. You didn't think I'd find out? She asks, voice eerily calm. Stephen backs up, heels scraping the wet wood. Caitlin, listen. She cuts him off. No, you listen. She pulls out her phone, plays a video, one that shows far more than just the living room. One that shows Stephen planting something in Barry's dresser last week. Stephen's face goes slack. Where did you... Hidden camera in the smoke detector, Caitlin says. Caught you planting those pills. The ones you were going to find and use to get Barry kicked out. Her smile is ice. Funny how things turn out. Stephen lunges for the phone. Caitlin doesn't flinch, because right on cue, headlights flood the pier. The black SUV rolls to a stop, and Barry steps out, face white with rage. The timestamp on the security feed ticks to 2:17 a.m. The storm rages on, but the real damage, that's just beginning. The rain falls in sheets as Barry steps onto the pier, his shoes splashing through puddles. His face is a mask of fury, his hands shaking, not from the cold, but from the video he just saw in the investigator's car. Stephen stumbles back, eyes darting between Caitlin and Barry. This isn't what it looks like. Barry doesn't let him finish. He grabs Stephen by the collar, slamming him against a rusted railing. The metal groans under their weight. You set me up? His voice is raw. You planted that shit in my drawer? Caitlin doesn't move, doesn't interfere, just watches, arms crossed, the glow of her phone still illuminating the damning footage. Stephen swallows hard. I was trying to protect you. Caitlin was digging. She knew. Barry shoves him harder. From who? Her? He barks a laugh. You were gonna frame me to get me arrested. A crack of thunder drowns out Stephen's reply. Caitlin finally steps forward. Here's what's going to happen, she says, voice cutting through the storm. Stephen, you're going to leave town, tonight. And if I ever see you again, this video goes to the cops. Stephen's lips peel back in a snarl. You bitch! Barry shoves him again, harder this time. Shut the hell up! His voice breaks. Just shut up. Silence. Only the rain between them now. Stephen wrenches free, breathing hard. He looks at Barry like he's about to say something, then stops, turns, stalks off into the downpour without another word. Barry doesn't watch him go. He just stares at Caitlin, rainwater dripping down his face. You knew. She doesn't deny it. I had suspicions. How long? Long enough? A beat. Then Barry laughs, a hollow, broken sound. So what now? You win? Caitlin pockets her phone. There was never a game, Barry. She turns and walks toward the SUV, where the investigator waits, engine still running. Barry doesn't follow. 1 week later, the apartment is empty. No furniture, no pictures, just echoes. Caitlin stands in the doorway, keys in hand, surveying the blank walls. The security cameras are gone, the holes patched up. Her phone buzzes. A text from Melissa. You good? She doesn't reply, just drops the keys on the counter and walks out, door clicking shut behind her. Downstairs, a moving truck idles at the curb. The driver nods as she approaches. Last box? Caitlin hands him a small package, the only thing she kept. The broken bedroom camera. Where to? The driver asks. She smiles faintly. Forward. 2 weeks later, a bar on the outskirts of the city. Barry sits alone, nursing a beer. A news segment plays on the TV above the counter, a small report about a drug bust at a downtown apartment. The footage shows police escorting a handcuffed figure out of a building. Barry doesn't react, just takes another sip. The bartender slides over a napkin with a number scribbled on it. From the blonde in the corner. Barry doesn't look, just folds the napkin and leaves it behind as he walks out. Barry disappears into the night. Somewhere else in the city, Caitlin watches the same news report on her laptop. She closes the tab. Truth has a way of coming out, sometimes when you least expect it. Want more gripping stories like this? Hit follow for edge-of-your-seat drama, shocking twists, and narratives that pull you in from the first scene. What would you have done in Caitlin's position? Drop a comment. We want to hear your take. Know someone who'd love this story? Share it and drag them into the drama. Turn on notifications, because the next story, you won't see it coming.